All right, today we're talking about line graphs. So you can see a line graph here. Line graphs are meant to show data over time. In this case, it's over years. It can also be over days or months or hours or minutes, but over some quantity of time. Now, one thing I want to point out is that we have to be really careful when looking at graphs because this says annual ticket sales by league. So we have Major League Baseball, Minor League Baseball, National Basketball Association, and National Football League. Now, I might be tempted to look at this graph and say, wow, baseball is so much more popular than football. Look at how many more tickets they sold. But then if I think about it, annual ticket sale means per year. What do we know about baseball is they have a lot more games. So, of course they sell more tickets because they have so many more games than the NFL does. Basketball has more than the NFL. So we can't just judge like how popular. We can still look at how many tickets they sell, but we have to be careful what conclusions we draw. Now, let's look at a much simpler line graph. Okay, so here we have Caitlin's height. Caitlin's family has kept track of her height. Below is a line graph showing how her height has changed as she aged. So we have years. That's the amount of time we are looking at the data over. Because remember, it's data over years. So 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. And then height in inches. And we're counting by tens officially. And then those lines in between, we'll have to figure out what they're counting by. So if it asks us, how tall was Caitlin when she was 4 years old? Well, 4 years old, go up, go over, 40 inches. It's in inches. Now, if they asked how tall was she when she was born, we can say, okay, let's go over. Okay, but that's right in between. It's not 10, it's not 20. What's right in between 10 and 20? 15. So on the one that you're going to do, it's counting by 4s. So you have to think, okay, what's right in between? Counting by 2s. So just keep in mind, always think really carefully about what it is counting by. This one is nice that it's always on the line, so it's either the 5 or the 10. But say if they had put something just above here, maybe it's 21 or 22. So that can happen on line graphs sometimes. Now, how much had Caitlin grown from the time she was born to 6 years old? Well, we just figured out that she was 15 inches when she was born. When she was 6 years old, okay, oops, it's on the line though, so it's 45. How much had she grown from there to there? Well, what's the difference? Because she ended up at 45, but she didn't start at 0. So we can't just say she grew 45 inches. From 15 to 45, can subtract, I get 30. Okay, so I know she grew 30 inches. All right, how old was Caitlin when she was 30 inches tall? Well, in this case, I want to go to 30 over here and say, okay, 30 inches. How old was she when she got that tall? Let's go look on our graph. Oh, that's where the dot is. So that meant she was 2 years old when that happened. And then they're even asking us to predict how old or how tall might she be when she is 10 years old. So we can look and say, okay, if it keeps going up, how much do you think it's going to be? Because she went from 45 to 55, so maybe it's going up by about 10 each time, and use that to make a good prediction. Because I could say, okay, 50 is less than she is when she's 8, and just make some good estimates. Or how tall might Caitlin have been when she was 5? Well, 5 is not on the graph, but I know 5 is right in between 4 and 6, so I could estimate and say, okay, about right here. Sorry for my not straight line. It's about right there. Let's look and say, okay, that's right. It's in between 40 and 45. So maybe that's 42 or 43 inches. So really thinking about what the graph means and how we can answer the questions that they're asking about it. Like I showed you, the one, excuse me, you were answering questions about is about air temperature. So we have degrees Fahrenheit, the time of day, Remember, it's change over time. And then you'll answer 7 questions about that. Keep in mind, 32 degrees is freezing in Fahrenheit. 0 is like way cold. And then like summer temperatures are like 70s. Because when it shows, is this more likely to be a line graph showing air temperatures in Maine or New Mexico? Well, Maine tends to be colder, New Mexico tends to be warmer. Not that it never gets cold in New Mexico, but think about what is more likely given the fact that we're right about freezing. Okay? Let me know if you have questions, want help. I am more than happy to get you started or answer any questions that you have. Good luck!